laser hair reduction. And laser hair reduction is amongst the world's most popular and most sought of after treatment, simply because one, it has very zero downtime. We'll discuss about it. And second, of its nature to give you long-term permanent results. I see a lot of people joining in, so let's wait for a couple of minutes because before we start off, so we'll make it a little crisp and easy. Just to give you a brief summary, to make it a little crisp, I am not going to give you any technical jargon about it. I'm going to trying to give you very practical points to you to know whether laser hair reduction is for you or no, and what if you opt for a laser hair reduction, what are the things you should be looking for as a do, as a don't, whether you're going wrong, whether you're going right, because many times patients are clueless when asked about what laser have they done, how many sessions have they done, whether they see any results, what were they expecting to see. Your expectations and what results are not aligned in the right way. So that is why we need to align them all so that things are a little more streamlined and are more long-termly beneficial for the patient, more importantly. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, we will be having, I've narrowed down a list of top 20 questions on laser hair reduction, which should give you a brief summary of everything to do with laser hair reduction, as whether and then you should be the right person to decide. And at the end of it, if you have any questions, you are free to post it down, and I'll be free to address them and discuss about them if we have not picked it up in the questions. All right, so let us start. I think it's time for us to start, so we should not waste more time. Okay, so a quick fire session on laser hair reduction. Firstly, what is a laser? When we talk about laser, a lot of people are like, oh, laser mujhe nahi karna hai. It is scary, it might be harmful, it might be painful, it might be expensive. So what is laser? Laser is basically a machine which is a very specific target. It's like, I always say it's Arjun. It has its focus on its right target. It is not interested in the surrounding areas, it is only interested in its target. Therefore, you have different lasers for different problems. So you have a tattoo laser for tattoo removal, you have a scar laser which will be for scar reduction, and you have a hair removal laser which is targeting the specific target in the hair. So that brings us to the next question, question number 2. What is laser hair reduction? When you talk about laser hair reduction is laser targeting hair follicles to give you permanent hair reduction. As simple as that. Why laser? Because this laser is targeting the black pigment in the hair roots, which will cause the roots to shrink and become permanently fine, so that the eventual outcome, the eventual hair will be fine and thin, so that the growth will be less visible and it becomes more convenient for the person. Is it long term? Is it permanent? We'll discuss it as we are going ahead. So far so good. So for targeting this melanin, which is situated in the upper layer of your dermis, which is the second layer of the skin, so it's a very superficial laser, so it is not going deep, therefore we do not have any downtime, so therefore it is very safe, and therefore it has no bleeding or no damage to the superficial skin. So we have patients who come in the office breaks, do the laser session and go back to work, and very comfortable, and no need to take a break after the laser session or anything of that sort. There are various lasers. There is an Alexandrite laser, there is a there is a Nd:YAG laser, and there is a diode laser, and there is also an IPL, which are used to remove hair. So whenever you go for a hair reduction laser, it is very important for you to know which laser are you doing, why are you going for that laser. So because the technology is important. So this brings us to the next important question. Why do you need to know the technology? Why is technology important for you to know? Technology is important for you to know because you should know what laser you're going for. Because one, the laser technology should be FDA approved. Secondly, suppose you migrate from one place to the other, or you shift doctors for any particular reason, your previous doctor, whatever laser he's done, your next doctor will have it more convenient to know whether you've done the right laser, whether it is working for you or no, and then accordingly he changes the further sessions and the parameters. Lastly, it is FDA approved lasers are universal. So when you have patients, like I have patients who have come out from abroad, from South Africa, and they wanted to do a session while they were here. Because they knew the technology, it was easy for them to do a session here, and it is easy to get sorted. What laser we use is for the best for the Indian skin. We recommend is the diode laser. Because the diode laser is ideal for the Indian skin because it has a minimum downtime. It gives you maximum results in minimum sessions. So it requires the least number of sessions among all the lasers. That means it is specifically targeting its target. So the Arjun is on the dot and it is hitting the target where required. Therefore, less sessions is giving us better result. मतलब कम session में अपना ज़्यादा अच्छा काम हो रहा है. This next question we would like to address is why do we need a dermatologist to do a laser? We see lasers have been done by parlor people. We see lasers have been done by cosmetologists who are not even trained by even, unfortunately, BHMS, and some dentists are also getting into cosmetology and finding it easy to do these lasers. And sometimes even not even doctors, some technicians are getting the lasers done. Why do we need to do the laser? Why do you need a dermatologist to do the laser? One, because everybody is not a right candidate to do a laser. So if you have a dermatologist, he will choose his patient wisely. It is very subjective for a patient to tell you that I need a laser. I have patients who come and tell me, doc, I need to do an upper lip laser. But when we look at the hair, it is so fine that we tell them you will not do well with a laser. You should not go for the laser hair reduction. Whereas this is something which a technician or a non-qualified dermatologist might not be able to pick up. Secondly, we should also know the cause of the hair growth. So if a female after puberty, after pregnancy has sudden hair growth in male areas, what you call as hirsutism, then we have to probably check for other signs of PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome or hormonal disturbances, and that is when we will realize whether treating the laser would be priority, will help her, or we have to first treat the cause. Because if you are just treating the result and you're not मतलब मैं आग में पानी भी डाल रहा हूँ और घी भी डाल रहा हूँ तो आग बुझेगा नहीं. So it is like first we have to make sure कि और आग में घी नहीं डले. So that is then when you do the treatment, that will give you best results in lesser sessions. That's why you need a dermatologist to do the laser. Coming to the fifth question, does LHR or laser hair reduction work on all patients? No. As we discussed, if your patient, if you have to, the doctor decides whether your laser hair, your hair is by pubertal hair or it is by your genetic hair, which is easy to treat. And if the doctor thinks that it is because of some hormonal disturbances, he would first want your hormones to be under check. So we recommend to go to an endocrinologist or a gynecologist who gets your hormones under control, and then you get the lasers done. So I have patients who have come back after 2 to 3 years also and then got the laser hair reductions, but that gives you much better results in lesser sessions. So you don't end up wasting that kind of money and that kind of sessions and time for the laser hair reduction. I hope we are on track, and if any questions you can please put it in the chat box and we'll address it at the end of the sessions if we miss out on anything which we have not addressed. Secondly, why we need to choose the laser, choose the patient is because laser does not work on white hair. Laser does not work on very fine hair. Laser will not work on bleached hair. If you have recently waxed that area, you have recently plucked the hair, you have recently threaded that area, the laser session would be waste of money and waste of time. So these are the things why the doctor comes in. He checks you, he tells you accordingly what needs to be done. Like today itself we had a patient who wanted to do a laser chin laser hair reduction, but because of her white hair we had to counsel her and align her that your white hair would not be treated by the laser and the rest of the hair would be easily picked up and treated well. So the white hair is something which the laser is not going to pick up because the laser picks up only the black pigment of the hair. So that's one important thing for you to know. What is the right age to start the laser, and when can you start? When should you start laser? Is it the right time? I'm too young for it. I've just delivered. Is it the right time for me to do it? My hormones are my menopause is over. Should I get my laser hair reduction? And these are the next common questions we come across. Anytime after 2 to 3 years of the puberty starting. So that means after the female has started menstruating, 2 to 3 years after that, because that is the time we recommend for the hormones to settle in, is the right time for you to start the laser hair reduction. As far as guys are concerned, again 2 to 3 years after the puberty sets in. So that is because the secondary sexual hair gets completely stabilized by 2 to 3 years, and post that any time. There is no particular time frame that this is the right time or this is the wrong time. Yes, pregnancy is not is a relative contraindication. We say no to do a laser during pregnancy. We'll just discuss it a little later when I come to the side effects and the effects of the laser. All right. Next is laser hair reduction only for females? No. In fact, males are very commonly and very popularly going for laser hair reduction. What are the common areas? I have patients coming in and telling me, Doc, I know you do laser hair reduction, but I do not know anything about it. What do people normally do in laser hair reduction? Which areas are commonly done? So for males, thanks to all your Virat Kohlis, the beard shaping is very much in fashion. So people want to do a beard shaping. Thanks to all the Varun Dhawans and Salman Khans who are going topless these days, people want to have a clean torso. So people are going for laser hair reduction of the chest and back. Guys are also opting for underarm laser hair reduction simply to make it a little more convenient, a little more less messy, and in humid cities like Bombay. Coming to females, underarm and bikini area is the most popular and most rewarding lasers for females. The next is the female facial hairs, which is again to be treated well and gives you very good results. And practically the full body. So we have patients who are doing full body right from arms, legs again. But again, the doctor sees the area, sees the hair, and then decides whether that area needs to be lased or no. So laser hair reduction is the doctor should decide it with you and take a call. Yeah, this area should be done, this area should not be done. The doctor marks that area for you, and the doctor tells you, okay, this is the area which you will be doing, and we will not be targeting the rest of the hair, because when done on an unwanted area, it can give you reverse effects. So that is why you need a qualified person to do it for you, so that he will be able to guide you the right way to give you the best results. Alright, so then next we come to is, how does a laser hair reduction actually work? So when you talk about the laser hair reduction, what happens is, just to give you a brief idea, the thicker and longer are the hair roots, the thicker and longer are the hair. Simple. As thicker and better the roots, as the bigger the better the plant. So when the laser hair reduction is done, what is the process of the laser hair reduction? We call you, we mark that area of that whichever we needs to do. We raise off the upper part of the hair so that this hair is not there, and then with the root we give laser hair reduction. With laser means a light. That light gets absorbed in this black hair which is there in the root. This root absorbs the black hair, the light, and because of the heat, it shrinks the root. And because it shrinks the root, as the roots become thinner and shorter, your eventual hair becomes thinner and shorter. This is how a laser hair reduction works. So there is no damage to the superficial skin, and the laser is working precisely where it is required. And that is why the doctor decides as per the body part what is the parameter to be used, because the thickness varies differently on the face. It will vary. Sorry for the break. It varies differently on the armpits. The thickness of the hair would, the roots would be different. That is why the doctor is the right person to take a call and to decide whether it is what area will need what strength of the machine to give you that kind of results. This is the next thing about how a laser hair reduction would work. The 10th, we are coming halfway through our session. Is it permanent? Is it gives you long-term results? The answer is yes. If we need to understand what area are we targeting. So if we are targeting the normal body parts, that is the hands, legs, underarms, bikini area and stuff, then the results are permanent because the roots are permanently shrunk. So therefore, when you shrink the roots permanently, there is no stimulus to that hair because the puberty has already happened, the hormone changes have already happened. So that root will never regrow. But in a female, which has in the male areas of the face, also in the middle line of the chest, sometimes around the nipple area, sometimes in the lower abdomen and the navel area. These are areas in a female of hormonal changes. So if a female undergoes hormonal changes, these hair might be stimulated again. So the results are long term provided you do not have any further hormonal fluctuations happening. This is why the laser hair reduction is permanent. Is it permanent hair removal or is it permanent hair reduction? So that's where we need to understand very importantly. When somebody gives you an ad saying it is permanent hair removal, it is a gimmick. There is no such thing as permanent hair removal. It is always permanent hair reduction. That means your hair will become permanently fine, and it becomes that fine that it is not visible to the naked eye. So it makes your life a little more convenient. Why do we need to do laser hair reduction? Laser hair reduction is done simply to make life more convenient. Females are in the lockdown with all the restrictions. I'm sure most of the females have, the moment the lockdown has got a little eased, have rushed to the parlors, rushed to the salons to get their services done, whether it is the face, whether it is the underarms, whether it is a bikini or anything of that sort. This is because, so the laser hair reduction makes your life a little more convenient, so you don't have to run for them every now and then. So your life is a little more sorted, it is a little more convenient, plus it makes your life a little more hygienic, a little more less messy. So it makes makes it a little more simpler and easier for you. So is laser hair reduction only done for cosmesis? That means it is only used for cosmetic indications, or does it, or for better looks only? No, laser hair reduction has a lot of medical indications also, right from areas which are keloidal prone, like the chest area in males where there are recurrent keloids. We have been using laser hair reduction to thin the hair so that the new keloids are not formed. Females with a lot of ingrowths, we do laser hair reduction so that the ingrowths are not happening. Because what is ingrowth? Your hair is thick, and it is because of the constant reverse action of the waxing, the hair starts to grow in the reverse direction and it starts damaging your own skin. So when you're doing a laser hair reduction, you're making the thicker hair thinner, so that the hair is not having the power then to actually penetrate and cause the ingrowths. So we are using it very popularly and very effectively as a tool for reducing ingrowths and for preventing long-term ingrowths. And it is used for taking care of pilonidal sinuses, which is a common problem. We have acne keloidalis nuchae, which happens, because of which you have scar formations on these areas. These are some of the medical indications why laser is also being used in these areas. So it is not just for the cosmetic indications. Also, because of the constant waxing and the constant friction, we have a lot of pigmentation coming in on these areas. So like the underarms become darker, we have patients complaining of dark upper lips and chin areas becoming a little thicker and coarser, and that is because of the constant friction of the hair removal methods which they use. So because you're reducing the thickness of the hair, you're reducing the friction, and therefore you don't have to do further more methods. So life becomes a little more simpler and easier. And so ironically, this has also been seen that people who are doing underarm laser hair reduction and stuff have also told us that they feel less sweaty and less messy. I think personally, to a certain extent, it helps in reducing the sweat glands, but it also helps because the hair holds the sweat and makes that hair soggy, which gives you a lot of fungal infection and patchy skin and all those things. So when you're doing a laser hair reduction, because the area is clean, so it makes life simpler, because then the area is more cleaner, so therefore sweating is relatively lesser. So the patients are more comfortable that. Alright, also good so far? Perfect. Next is, what are the side effects? When you talk about lasers, the first thing patients are asking is, doctor, koi side effect to nahi hai? Again, if you do it with a qualified person in the right hands, it is practically no side effects. When the patient does the laser hair reduction, all they experience is slight pricking depending upon the thickness of the hair. Immediately after the session, the skin becomes slightly red, slightly swollen, which within a matter of before the patient leaves the clinic, the skin settles down. So when you do the laser and you go back to your work or you go back home, and nobody even knows that you've done a session on the face or on the wherever part of the body. Third thing is, if the machine is not used properly, then it gives you, some people get a little bit of burns and stuff, but those are technical issues which is because of the wrong handling of the machine. So if you're doing it with the right person, that is why we prefer the doctors doing the laser rather than the technicians. And that is why a qualified dermatologist becomes the right person to do the laser than any person who has just got the facility and wants to do the service. That would be the way to give you better results. Also, is there any downtime after you do the laser? No. In fact, as I told you, it's an office procedure. You do it and you can get back to work, and it is zero downtime. And nobody even knows. There is no redness, there is no swelling. Immediately after, within 15 minutes, it's all gone. Is it painful? No. Earlier techniques were a little painful. Earlier methods were a little painful. People who have done earlier laser and now they are doing the in-motion diode laser, which is very popularly done nowadays, are super happy. They find it super convenient. It is super quick. Sessions are full body can be done within 4 hours. It is that quick. And out of that, at least 1 hour, 1.5, 2 hours are taken only for the legs. So you can imagine the surface area involved. But practically the full body can be covered in 4 to 5 hours max. And patients are convenient. Patients are not are having no problems. In fact, one of the recommended services even in COVID is the laser hair reduction. I'll give you a little details about it a little later. Next is, do we avoid it in pregnancy? And if yes, if you're saying there is no side effects, then why are we avoiding it in pregnancy? It is not even going below the second layer of skin. So why do we have to avoid it in pregnancy in that matter? Laser hair reduction is a cosmetic procedure, and unless there is a dermatological indication, we prefer not to do it in pregnancy, simply because any cosmetic procedures by rule are avoided. But it is not like a mandatory thing to avoid in pregnancy. If there is some other issues, we can also do a laser hair reduction with the consensus of the gynecologist. But to be on the safer side, we say why do a laser, why do expose the body? So do it after the pregnancy. Next, is it expensive? Is the laser hair reduction expensive? Doctor, I am, my parlor services give me offers. I have various apps giving me offers for parlor services. Why go for laser hair reduction? Because it is, we have studies which have compared the rates of all your parlor services to your laser hair reduction, and it is proven by financial records that within 5 to 6 years your laser hair reduction services are more rewarding than your regular parlor services in the 5 to 6 years. So if you do the maths, within 5 to 6 years your complete amount is recovered vis-a-vis parlor services, which is continues even after 5 to 6 years. Secondly, it gives you the convenience of lesser visits to the parlor every occasion, and it makes life a little much more convenient and simpler. So for working women, for working men, for people who are a little more hairy and sweaty, it is a boon. So it is a very popular thing and very effective thing. Coming to the next one, what are the do's and don'ts? The very important part about do's and don'ts whenever you have to do a laser hair reduction. So a lot of patients come to me, doctor, I want to do a laser, I want to start a laser hair reduction. What should I do? And what are the precautions and what are the things I need to look for? Firstly, whenever you decide to do a laser hair reduction, take your doctor's opinion. Once your doctor gives you a go ahead, yes, you can do a laser hair reduction, at least 1 month before, and minimum at least 3 weeks before, any kind of plucking, threading, waxing and bleaching of that particular area should be completely avoided. Simply because if you're plucking, if you're waxing and if you're threading, this part of the root is also empty. So if your roots are empty, as we discussed, the laser will not have anything to work upon, so your session would be wasted. Similarly, if you're bleaching, the laser makes your hair white, the bleach will make your hair white, and as I told you before, white hair is not targeted by the laser. So this is why plucking, bleaching, threading and waxing should be completely avoided for at least 1 month before you start your laser sessions. In between sessions, you are not allowed to do any of these methods. You can trim your hair through a razor, or you trim your hair with a trimmer, so that you're cutting the superficial hair and not again doing the same issues, because then your subsequent sessions will not be working. And after the sessions are over, your doctor, how does the laser session progress? Initially, the doctor would call you monthly or 6 weekly, depending upon the area what she's doing. And there are two schools of thought. Some doctors prefer to call the laser patient as per the hair growth. That is a kind of an obsolete method now. Now the newer method says call the patient on a regular interval, so that you're targeting the hair cycle. So you're targeting the hair as per the area's hair growth, which gives you better results for long term. So initially, for practical purposes, it is weekly, it is monthly for the first 2-3 months, and then depending upon your growth, the gaps increase. So effectively, we have gone to, even after the 3rd, 4th session, we are calling our patients after 2 months, 2.5 months also. And what after the 6 sessions, 8 sessions are done? What after that? After that, if the hair is still there, the patient will be called for a touch-up sessions. And if not, then the patient is free to go for any method. So basically, the life becomes so convenient that once in 6-8 months, if you need to just trim the hair, or if you just need to you need to take care of it, you can either go for a touch-up session or you can do it at home itself, and that makes life a little more convenient. So you don't have to have constant visits to any parlor or salons. Next is, how much time will each session require? As we discussed, it's a quick process, so it's practically no downtime. You're in and out of the doctor's cabin in minutes. You can immediately resume work. Sessions required for the body part will depend upon a lot of factors. One of the factor is what machine is the doctor using. So generally, a diode laser would generally require around 6 to 8 sessions. If it is an Nd:YAG laser, it would require 8 to 12 sessions. If it is an IPL, then you need 16 to 20 sessions. And that is exactly why the rates vary. You might look at an ad, you might look at a doctor's promotion and say he is doing the service for XYZ amount. You are doing the service for double the amount. Why so? Because the machines are different, and so the technology and eventually the number of sessions required. So it is like if you're doing a machine which costs you less than 5 lakh rupees and that machine is going to take you 20 sessions, then obviously you will end up eventually paying more than what you will be paying if a diode machine which is worth 20-25 lakhs is giving you the same number of results in lesser sessions or even less than half the sessions. So that is why the number of sessions and that is why the costs also vary. That is why as a patient, as a client, you should be aware of what technology is being used and whether you are on the right person with the right platform or not. This is how you should be expecting to go ahead with your laser hair reductions. What to expect post laser hair reduction? Perfect. So three things where we tell you to judge your laser hair reduction. Firstly, the thickness of the hair. Second is the density of the hair, and thirdly is the growth rate of the hair. So your thick hair starts to become thinner. Your density of the hair, so suppose in 1 square centimeter area you earlier had 10 hair, then it starts becoming a little finer and the density becomes less. And in the lastly is the growth rate. So growth rate is, suppose earlier you needed to do any kind of threading activity once in 15 days, then eventually it becomes once in 2 months, once in 4 months, once in 6 months, and that is how it becomes. So effectively पहले मेरे कमरे में 10 नारियल के पेड़ थे, so it was not visible, the room was full. देन मेरे कमरे में 4 नारियल के पेड़ हो गए तो रूम थोड़ा खाली खाली हो गया. एंड फिर मेरे कमरे में नारियल के पेड़ के बदले हमने नीम का झाड़ डाल दिया तो रूम खाली हो गया. So that's why the visibility becomes less, and that is why the cosmetic look of the patient becomes better. Why do we need that fine hair? Is that fine hair cannot be removed. Medically, we want that fine hair to be there because the hair root contains a stem cell bulb which is good for the hair skin to regrow. So God forbid, whenever you have any injury, whenever you have any burn, that same fine hair gives you good regrowth factors, and that is required for the skin to regenerate faster and better. So that is the technical reason why a fine hair is good for the skin, and we are not looking for anything beyond that because that is what we consider as the last endpoint to treat the laser hair reduction. So far so good? Perfect. Why should I go for a laser hair reduction? Last two questions. I'm not keeping it very short and simple because I don't want to bore you guys. Why do we need to go for a laser hair reduction? Simply because there is less downtime. Secondly, it is safe. It has been US FDA approved since more than 15 years now, and there is some reason to it, and it is done worldwide. So the side effects and the safety profile has been sorted and been tested again and now and again, and therefore it has been approved for laser hair reduction. Thirdly, it makes your life convenient. It makes it more safe and more hygienic, and cost effective. These are the reasons why you should very safely opt for a laser hair reduction, which will give you much better results for long term without damaging the skin. Lastly, is it COVID safe? Is it safe to do a laser hair reduction in the COVID scenario? Yes, because we are not damaging the superficial skin. We are only targeting the deeper level of hair follicle, and the superficial skin is left intact. Therefore, it is COVID safe. This is being recommended by the guidelines of the Indian Association Task Force on Lasers, and also by the special interest group of the Indian Association of Dermatology, that you are safe to do a laser hair reduction. Of course, we take prior consent and we take prior checking of the patients before we do the laser hair reduction. But procedure wise, it is a very safe procedure to perform, which will help you get better results faster. For any further questions, for any further doubts, you can always post me or tag me or DM me, and I can get back to you regarding the any personal questions if you have for the same. But read about it and have a wise decision, and stay safe, stay corona free, wear your mask even if you have to go out just for a testing, and do not remove your mask when you're outside before you talk to your people and stuff. You find it stuffy, you find it messy, but when you are removing your mask and you're talking, wearing your mask is more of a necklace and ornament than it's serving the purpose. So you touch your mask only after you reach home, and that's about it. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time with something more sensible. Trying to give you some sensible information for it is a long-term usage. If you have any particular topics which you want me to cover, please mention it down, and I'll target it in my next questions and next subsequent sessions. Take care. Stay safe.